Welcome to another edition of Ask the First Selectman. As the name implies, we're here to talk with John Zagrodzky, our first selectman, and ask him your questions. And our first question comes from somebody who describes themselves as someone who walks with a cane. And this person said there were recently public hearings on ADA access to town buildings and parks, but little publicity and minimal public participation, which this person found disappointing. And they ask, how can we be heard if we have issues with access and have trouble walking? John?
Well, thanks, Jim, as always, for having these sessions. The more the merrier. It provides a real opportunity to explore these discrete issues as we're doing right now. So, just by way of background, ADA stands for Americans with Disabilities, and it pertains to the ADA Act that was signed by Bush 41 in 1990, I believe. In any case, it was effective a couple of years later in 1992. And basically, it says that we have to provide equal access to persons with disabilities. And of course, that's been subject to interpretation, many cases over the 35 years or so that it's been enforced or since it was signed. And it's an important piece of legislation that we have to pay a lot of attention to. So one of the things that WestCog, which is our form of regional government, initiated a while back was a series of what they're calling ADA audits, and they're making those available to the municipalities in their district. And Darien was one of the first ones on the list to get one of those audits. And so what the audit's purpose is to help towns like Darien understand where they can improve their access as specified and required by the Americans with Disabilities Act. So they're in the process of completing that audit right now. We'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved. But the audit actually extends over a period of time and includes both their work in visiting various sites around town to assess the sort of ADA compliance, if you will, as well as, importantly, public input. So that in case we've missed something or there's some special area where someone needs access in order to fully participate in municipal government and what we offer as a municipality, we want to hear from you. So there's been a survey that's been posted. And Jim, when does that survey link expire? Do you have a date?
I believe it's Friday, the 23rd of May.
Friday, the 23rd of May. So coming up very shortly, end of next week. So at the end of the video, we'll put up a link to take that survey. But I took the survey myself, and the first question says, is there anyone in your household who has a disability? And I said no, and then that was the end of the survey. So it's very important if you have a need that is preventing you from fully participating in government or taking advantage of services the government offers, that survey will actually help us pinpoint and understand exactly what your issue is. And so we'd like to hear from you. The more that we hear, the better position we'll be in to make investments to ensure that the town's facilities and programs are ADA compliant.
So we'll put up the website address and a QR code, which if you have a smartphone, you can take a picture of it. It will open the survey for you directly. That'll be coming up right at the end of this program. After I remind you that if you have a question for our first selectman, just send it along to us at DarienTV79 at gmail.com.